Pat Summitt's condition is taking a turn for the worst. So we'll talk to friends about that. And then we'll talk with Joe Williams out in Mile High Sports in Denver. He wasn't able to join us last week because he had a family situation, but he'll be on with us today talking sports and just one of those days where we all just get together, try to get over the weekend. Next Monday, we will not be here next Monday. It is the 4th of July, so we will be, you'll hear the best of the Voice of Ocala 4th of July show as we will try to enjoy our family on that day. Jake Perkins will be en route July 2nd, that's this Saturday, to do a show 4 to 6 p.m. live from the top of the fan zone. The Sprint Fan Zone, for those of you who don't know what a Sprint Fan Zone is at Daytona International Speedway, it is the roof of the pits at the Daytona International Speedway. It's a fan favorite. Although I like the Fan Zone experience, and now Jake Perkins joins us. Jake, you've been to the Fan Zone, I know, numerous times.
A number of times, that's right.
But from a fan standpoint, I think it's kind of a little oversold. Because you're on top of the pits, but you know as well as I do, you can only see very small sections of the racetrack.
you can only see so much. Well, Daytona, of course, 2.5 miles long. No matter where you are, unless you're in an airplane, you're not going to see a whole lot of the racetrack. So, but it's pretty cool. It's something you kind of just got to do once, and then if you like it, go back.
We go. The concerts and all are great there.
Yes, they are.
I've saw Little Big Town there. I saw. Some guy named Luke Bryan.
He goes there all the time.
From Statesboro, Georgia. I don't know that guy. He's some whack job. I don't know Luke Bryan. I saw another whack job, Cole Swindell. I don't know that guy either. He's from Statesboro, too. I don't know. I actually have pictures on my cousin actually has pictures on his Facebook page where we're all out playing golf. Cole Swindell, me, Luke Bryan, my cousins. I used to pay Luke Bryan $250 a Friday night to play at Mellow Mushroom in the Statesboro Plaza when I ran the Mellow Mushroom, when Luke Bryan was just a
little guy.
Yeah, he was nobody. Look, Trey Britt is his head of security, and Trey and I have known each other all our lives. Luke Bryan's still nobody, okay? When he gets around his boys back in Statesboro, zero. He gets
no respect.
None. I'll tell you a story off the air. It's just funny that when Luke was at Daytona 500, it was 4 years ago.
Right.
And, 3 years ago. It's three Daytona 500s ago.
Okay.
So I went up and, I come walking up and they're, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? And Trey said, no, he's good. And then Luke and I had a conversation and they told him he had to come to hair and makeup. And then the conversation that happened after that was quite one that's not told on the air, but it's a quite funny exchange between two old boys from South Georgia.
I can only imagine.
But you're going over to be on top of the Sprint Fan Zone to broadcast live from 4 to 6 at the Coke Zero 400. Now, in the Sports Hour today, Jake Perkins and I will talk about something that we thought may happen this weekend, that happened, and even the most novice non-NASCAR fan could understand. You saw between turn 7 and turn 11, quite possibly some of the best racing you'll ever see.
Period.
On the NASCAR circuit. And by the way, is exactly how racing is supposed to do, and there was no fights afterwards.
No.
Because it was exactly how it's supposed to happen.
Mutual respect.
Exactly how it's supposed to happen. Probably didn't hurt that Denny Hamlin used to work for Tony Stewart. They were teammates.
This is true.
Probably didn't hurt there. But we'll talk about that in the Sports Hour. Coming up next, we're going to get into this the multiple people that were injured at a rally yesterday in California. Wait till you hear this. Time to ban it. Time to ban the weapon. Wait till you hear this. Multiple people sent to the hospital with wounds. A lot of people, two of the people they thought had critical wounds, but they look like they're going to make it now. But we'll tell you what it was, what the rally was, what happened to cause the altercation, and that we should go ahead and ban this weapon. We just should. I'll tell you about that next, right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Do you remember when summer was a celebration? You know, no schools, no worries, just days packed with your favorite pastime. It was the splendid season you dreamed of all year long. But as you got older and busier, the summer seemed to lose its sparkle. Where did those carefree days go? Well, they're closer than you think. Summer's still sensational at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club, where you can come out and play the grown-up way with our affordable summer memberships. Enjoy our championship golf course celebrating the game's greatest holes, hard-true tennis courts, and a state-of-the-art fitness center. Explore our stately 77,000 square foot clubhouse and unwind at our relaxing spa.
Don't forget the pool!
It's a summer unlike any other, and it's yours with a Golden Ocala summer membership. You can call Golden Ocala at 629-6229 to inquire about a summer membership, or you can visit goldenocala.com to learn more. That's goldenocala.com.
Your quality of life is meant to be fully enjoyed each day. The doctors at Ayers Global understand that and strive to provide a quality of life for you that has no equal. Ayers Therapeutic Services combines naturopathic and family medicine to help all your health needs. Diabetic management, hypertension, pain management, and anti-aging are just a few of the services offered by the Ayers family. Call 352-512-0222 today, and Ayers Therapeutic Services will help you begin to understand that better health begins with you.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin will be answering your questions about your gardens on In the Garden with Carol Ann.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-sized.
And then Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive will be answering your automobile questions on auto repair with personal care.
John Shurji is a financial advisor speaking about fixed index annuities.
And then Evelyn Eileen Smith will be on. She's a playwright, a screenwriter, and she's written a book. It's called In Love and War. It's her memoir. All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
WWWOCA,
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Hi, I'm Fran Darkington. When I need news, I pass the rest and tune to The Source, WOCA.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala on a Monday afternoon. It is the Monday before the 4th of July holiday. I want to tell everybody, go ahead. I know that there's these tents everywhere, and you know the tents I'm talking about. They pop up the week before 4th of July and the week before New Year's.
Yep.
Now, you a big fireworks fan?
I like fireworks.
You like fireworks?
Mm-hmm.
Jake Perkins, you like blowing things up?
Absolutely.
So y'all like getting them and setting them off in the backyard or out in a clear area field so that there's no fire hazard or anything?
I mean,
that just wouldn't be as exciting, would it?
See, here's my problem. When you get around people, and inevitably on 4th of July and New Year's, what are people doing?
Setting off fireworks.
But what else are they doing? If you're over the age of 21, what are you doing?
Drinking a little bit.
I'm pretty sure an explosive device and drinking probably doesn't go hand in hand. And so we get invited to places, and sometimes I don't want to go because I know that they'll be drinking there, and the people that will then be setting the fireworks off might be a little intoxicated. And all it takes is dropping that mortar just a little too hard because you're trying to run from it and knocking the tube over, and the tube's aimed towards where everybody's sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got issues.
Yeah, we went and bought these really cool fireworks like 2 years ago. And we had this family over, and like the way it was, you have the tube, and then it's literally like an exploding fire, like a fireball.
You got to get on the microphone.
Sorry, it's like a fireball.
Yeah.
And my brother was lighting them, and he goes to light it, and it didn't get all the way down the tube. So we all take off running, and this fireworks set off on the ground, and everybody got hit by the shockwave. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, see, that's not cool to me.
I thought it was funny.
I saw a friend of mine get his hand blown open.
Okay, that's not
because he didn't throw the firework fast enough.
Football player, I think they could probably tell you a thing or two about it too.
Pierre Paul. Or what about, you see these YouTube videos where the dog will get, like they stuck a Roman candle in the ground. All a Roman candle is doing is shooting, it's not even. And the dog went over and picked it up in its mouth, and it's sideways its mouth, and it's shooting at everybody. See, therein lies a problem for me. That's why I'm a big fan of the professional firework on 4th of July. Particularly standing on the bridge that separates the yacht club from what's the boardwalk, because then you can see the fireworks at Epcot and at Hollywood Studios.
There you go.
That's what we did. My girlfriend Jennifer and I last year. We went, and you'd be amazed how many people go to Disney World at about 7:30 at night. And we got to boardwalk in the yacht club, and it was packed because people were waiting to see the 4th of July fireworks. So if you're going to do 4th of July fireworks, please be careful. And second, you ever been in one of those tents to buy the fireworks? Have you ever read, that piece of paper you have to sign that's saying you're going to do the da-da-da-da? You ever read what that thing says?
No, have you ever read any of the agreements you've agreed to?
No, I've read that one because it's short enough that it's funny. It says that you'll be using it for agricultural uses and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
We're blowing up some beaver dams. He's going to set these around the beaver dam, blow up a beaver dam. I have no idea if there are even beaver dams in Florida. I'm sure there are, but I wouldn't be able to tell you anywhere. I'm just blowing up some beaver dams. It's the most ridiculous. It's the most ambiguous thing. It is as bad as the terms and conditions because nobody ever reads the terms and conditions. How many things you signed up for the internet that you have no idea what the terms and conditions were? They could be selling everything you put in there to some third world country. You'd have no idea because I'm not reading 8 hours of terms and conditions.
I know. When I first came into UCF for athletics, you probably know this, how many forms you had to sign.
Oh, yeah, because you got to come through the clearinghouse and everything.
Yeah, so me and my teammate were both incoming freshmen, so we signed everything. I ended up saying, yes, I tested positive for a drug test, and I said that I did not test positive.
Well, there you go.
My coach was so mad at us.
There you go, because you didn't read it. You just signed it.
Just like, oh, there's a line, there's a check.
Yeah.
You don't think about it.
So you admitted and denied.
And denied.
In the same thing. Yeah. Wonderful.
Uh-huh.
I have tested positive for drugs before. I have not tested positive for drugs.
Right after. didn't even pay attention to it.
So that's my point. Pay attention this weekend. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend. Celebrate the freedom of the greatest country on the face of the earth, but do it without losing limbs. Don't be like John Pierre Paul. Okay? And that was 4th of July last year.
It was indeed.
Cost him his entire NFL year last year.
Wait, what happened?
John Pierre Paul, he played at University of South Florida as a defensive end. He was with the New York Giants, was in a contract year where he was scheduled. The Giants had offered him a big amount of money. He turned that down. They put the franchise tag on him, so he was going to make the average of the top 5 players in his position. They take all those 5 players, put their money together, divide it by 5. That's what he would get, the average of those 5 contracts. Mm-hmm. He had the contract. He knew what he was going to do. He just hadn't signed it yet. He was going in the Monday after 4th of July to sign the contract, and it was something like $21 million. Blew 3 of his fingers off 4th of July. Giants said, nah, we're going to wait on that. We're going to wait.
Hold
on.
Gosh.
Yeah, blew 3 of his fingers off.
If he had signed it a week prior, would have been fine, right?
But the Giants wouldn't have been.
No.
But the Giants are like, you know what? We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. So that's the kind of thing, because you never want to hear that story. And fires start. And you know who else is in bad shape? And here comes the bleeding heart in me. This is where people say, you're not really Republican, but I love my animals. We all know I'm a proponent of the Humane Society. I did their Dog Days of Summer event Friday evening, which was a great turnout, by the way. And dogs and cats have it terrible on 4th of July and New Year's Eve.
They get so scared.
Because they're not celebrating anything. They just want it all to stop. So make sure if you do have small animals or animals in general, put them in a room or somewhere where they're not out actively. Because like when you see those videos on YouTube, the reason the dog goes and grabs the stuff and runs off with it, because it's hurting his ears. He's done with it. He's finished with it, folks. So take into consideration those. Also take into consideration if you're living in a subdivision or something, you may have those families that have newborns or something. They don't want to have nothing blowing up near their house either. What we used to do when I was a teenager, in my 20s, is we'd go out in the middle of a farm field somewhere and then set the fireworks. Somebody get a couple pallets and you'd set all the stuff up. But we were smart. We'd sit out there and we'd tie wicks together and all for 3-4 hours and just run a whole big set of pallets out there and then light one thing and it would just shoot. And it was like a regular fireworks display. People don't do that now. They want to drop one mortar in. Ooh, look at there, Bubba. See that Earl boy? That's one of them starburst. Yeah, see, be a little smart.
Restriction to
be a little smarter.
Is there a restriction to like the height that it can shoot now as far as buying fireworks?
Oh, I think some of those 500 gram ones will go like 150 feet in the air.
That's insane.
I don't think they can get above that because of airplanes and stuff. But they'll go pretty high up in the air. And I mean, but now they got them where you can buy a box that shoots like 30 of them at one time, and that's a little safer to me than the one mortar at a time dropped into the canister. Because doesn't it always scare you, that canister? First off, it's just a cardboard tube. Okay, doesn't that kind of bother you? It's a cardboard tube.
That, and when it doesn't light and you're scared of whether or not to go up and light it again. I hate that moment of just not knowing.
No, because you could die.
Exactly.
You could die. So just take precautions out there and keep in mind you're not the only one that is out there on the 4th of July, that you have friends and neighbors that may not enjoy your same desires. So be cognizant of that. But enjoy your 4th of July weekend. Coming up next, we'll get to that situation out in California where there was a rally and a weapon was used, and well, we got to ban the weapon. I'll tell you all about that. Plus, we're going to have Franz Beard in here at 4:30. He writes for FightingGators.com, and then Jake and I are going to have a little NASCAR discussion. A great finish to Sonoma yesterday. All that plus Joe Williams right here on the Monday edition of the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Do you suffer with frequent migraines? If you've experienced several migraines each month for at least the past year, you may qualify for a clinical research study. To find out more information about this study, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. All study medications and study-related procedures are at no cost to you, and insurance is not required. Compensation for time and travel will be provided. Again, if you suffer frequent migraines, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's 352-629-5800. Rinstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Do you like Vietnamese food? Well, come to Kim Long's, Ocala's one and only Vietnamese restaurant. The goal of Kim Long's is to capture the authenticity of the Vietnamese homeland and get a taste of other influences within the Vietnamese cuisine. They're open Monday through Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Sundays, 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can make reservations by calling 352-236-5791. That's Kim Long, Ocala's only Vietnamese restaurant.
Need a car? Need financing? Need somebody to cut through the red tape and send you rolling down the highway? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Got great credit and just prefer a quality pre-owned car at a fair price from somebody you can trust? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Want to avoid high pressure to feel appreciated and be able to choose from a wide selection of AutoCheck and Carfax certified vehicles? Prestige Auto Sales is the place to go. Prestige Auto Sales in Ocala. Prestige. It's all there in our name.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. The Supreme Court has struck down a Texas law putting strict rules on abortion clinics, saying it puts an undue burden on women seeking abortions. Nancy Northrup of the Center for Reproductive Rights calls it a major victory.
And we will go forward in making sure that all of the laws that are blocking women's access to the constitutional rights will be overturned.
GOP-led state lawmakers had said the law was meant to protect women's health. Crews making some progress fighting a Central California wildfire.
The blaze that has so far killed an elderly couple as they tried to escape and destroyed more than 200 homes. More than 2,000 firefighters are attacking the blaze from the ground and the air.
Fox Radio's Gernell Scott, the former second in command of the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, sentenced to 5 years in prison. Paul Tanaka was convicted in April in a corruption probe that also brought down his boss. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Any Tom, Dick, or Harry can tell you that Geico could save you money on car insurance. But since money talks, why not go straight to the source?
Hey, Harry's money here. And the day Harry went to Geico.com and switched his car insurance was the day I got to hang around. Finally, boys bonding, bada bing, bada boom. No wonder Geico has 97% customer satisfaction. Personally, I give him 100, but that's just my 2 cents. That was funny.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
My name is Roosevelt. I always thought that cigarette smoking just messed up your lungs. I never thought that at only 45 would give me a heart attack. And I never thought that it would change my life forever. My tip is, do your heart a favor and quit now.
Heart attack risk drops as soon as you quit. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW for help getting free medication, if available and eligible. That's 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
We're saving thousands with Robert Palmer.
So rule number one is always shop around. Always shop around. If you're trying to get a mortgage, if you're trying to get the best credit card, if you're looking at student loans, cell phone bills, you name it, rule number one is always shop around. Always shop around.
That's rule number one, just one more vital part of fighting back to stop being a financial zombie. Yes, you can take the mystery out of the complicated world of finances. Take charge when it comes to your money. Listen in on The Source, 96.3 FM and 1370 AM, Saturdays at 12:05.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Place the back of your hand on the ground. If you can't hold it for 5 seconds, it's too hot for your dog to walk on. Good skin bacteria can improve our appearance, apparently, and relieve conditions like acne and psoriasis. Women want men who are willing to open up and share themselves. So include some action photos that show off your passions. Shots of you hiking, playing piano, playing softball with your buddies.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
New windows will beautify your home and bring you immediate energy savings. Renewal by Anderson of Central Florida leads the way in quality and installs the name brand homeowners trust. Visit renewalbyanderson.com for a free in-home consultation with the pros. Right now, buy 4 windows and get the 5th free. Plus no money down, 0% interest, and 0 payments for 12 months with approved credit. Visit renewalbyanderson.com. That's renewalbyanderson.com. Offer ends July 31st. License CGC 1523333.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
WOCA. AM 1370.
96.3. 96.3 FM.
We We are The Source, WOCA.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala on a Monday afternoon. This is a story out of San Francisco. It's kind of puzzling, and it is what makes our country the greatest country on earth, is the freedom to do these things. But I've always said that this is the answer to political correctness, and I'm not saying the incident that happened here, but when you say things, you must face the consequences for saying things. Like, if you want to go in the middle of an all African-American neighborhood and say that word that nobody wants you to say, I think you have the freedom to do that. Go do it. And then when they put you in traction, you probably shouldn't do that again, should you? That's how I look at things. If you want to go say somebody is a piece of garbage and then they come to you and explain to you why they're not a piece of garbage and it doesn't set well with you, well, you shouldn't have said they were a piece of garbage. Like, I'm a firm believer you should be able to say, if you don't like your boss, you should be able to go on Facebook, say, I hate my boss. And then your boss can fire you. It's just, instead of, well, you can't say those we can say whatever we want to say. But you just have to be prepared. You just have to be prepared for the consequences when you say those things. Mm-hmm. Instead of the political correct police telling me what those consequences are, I think a lesson's better taught when the people you offended explain the consequences to you. That's what happened in San Francisco. 10 people suffered wounds that included stab wounds and other injuries on Sunday after members of the white nationalist group that planned to rally outside of the California state capitol in Sacramento clashed with a larger group of counter-protesters. The fight broke out when 30 members of the traditional worker party gathering to rally around noon Sunday were met with about 400 counter-protesters. As people tried to leave the area, fights broke out. 2 people were taken to the hospital with critical stab wounds. Police were investigating 2 assaults that happened outside the Capitol grounds. No arrests have been made. Videos from the melee show that mounted police were used to bring the thing up. But some young people, mostly with their faces covered, threw stones. But then one man went around wielding a wooden 2x2 pole that he had a protester sign on. So he starts whacking people in the head and the neck and the shoulder with this stick. So there you have it, folks. We're going to have to outlaw the pine tree. We're going to have to do it, Jake. Can't have pine trees grown anymore. They can be turned into weapons of mass destruction and used to beat people about the head area.
It's an outrage.
Rallies in California.
Absolutely an abomination. They got to go. Got to go.
What were they trying to protest?
The white supremacist group was there trying to protest against Black Lives Matter. Then the other 400 people showed up to try to shout them down. And, of course, guess what happens? A melee. And in the melee, people were stabbed, people were beaten with sticks, rocks were thrown.
Yeah, these people are bloody.
Yeah, it just goes to prove my point that there are large numbers of weapons that can do serious damage to people. It's people that do the injuring. And this yesterday was ridiculous. When you see this, one girl is just sitting there and some guy just comes up and whacks her in the back of the head with a stick. I mean, she goes down like a pile of rocks. I mean, it's just, it was, and the police saw this coming and didn't do enough to stay, in my opinion, didn't do enough to stop the inevitable from happening.
They used knives, bottles, bricks, chunks of
concrete
that they broke off of a construction site.
Yeah, this was a melee. I mean, they were swinging sticks, knives, concrete, throwing bottles at each other, and the police didn't get control of it until after it was out of control. But I bring it up because these weapons, you know, there was a TV reporter and his camera crew that was caught in the altercation with protesters who shouted "no cameras" as they tried to grab their equipment. 9 men, 1 woman, ranging from 19 to 58 years old, were treated for stab wounds, cuts, and scrapes. There were a large number of people carrying sticks and rushed to get into the melee or see what was going on. The Traditional Workers Party had scheduled and received a permit to protest for 2 hours in front of the Capitol. Law enforcement was aware of the counter-protest effort. Police deployed more than 100 officers to the Capitol. So this was just one of those where one group was trying to protest. Whether you agree with their message or not, which, by the way, I do not agree with their message. They had went through the proper channels to have this protest, and then a fight broke out. And see, here's my problem with protest in general. It's usually not the people who go through the proper channels to arrange their protest. It's the people who don't like what they're protesting and show up that usually cause a large number of the disturbances.
Because when they refer to all these anti-fascists, those are just people that are opposed to like their
Right.
organization and ideology.
Right.
Okay.
But I don't agree with the workers, traditional party, whatever the white supremacist group was.
Mm-hmm. But if you let them just go and protest and do their thing, it's all the people that...
But these people, the white supremacist group, applied for the proper permits, got the proper permits and permission to have their rally. Right.
Their rally.
Then the other people showed up and started beating on them.
It's like, you didn't have a permit.
My point is, whether you agree with them, and that's the problem with the world today.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't agree with your message, then you're wrong. Because I don't agree with you. Not because you could be right. And I could be wrong, but if you don't, that's my problem with a large number of protests, especially the young people that protest when they show up at these rallies. We don't agree. Well, first off, if we took a poll, how many of them would actually know what the hell they're agreeing with or not agreeing with?
Like 20%.
Okay, that's the first off. And that's maybe the old guy in me, but I'd garner to say there's a large group of people that just show up hoping that a melee happens so that they can start looting. Because doesn't that happen a lot at protests? Store windows get broke out and TVs get taken. Happens a lot. Police cars get turned over and set on fire just because they want to see a bonfire, I think, sometimes. I have no problem with protesters if they do it in the proper manner. But just to show up and say, I don't agree with what you're saying, so I'm going to start beating you. Well, that makes you just as bad as the people with the terrible message. Mm-hmm. Am I missing something? Now, because y'all are both 30 years younger than me, am I missing something there? Because if the white supremacist group, which is a hate group, they show up and they start spewing their hate, and then you show up and start beating them with sticks for doing so, aren't you as bad as them? When they've done it the right way, they've got their permit. I'm not saying if they come into your neighborhood,
but, okay, you have many more years of experience on you,
mm-hmm.
and many more years of wisdom. Us, like our generation, like we just want to lash back. We want to retaliate.
I guess.
Well, it's just like in DeLand, not Brick City. What is it? There's one bar there. That's the place that all the college kids go. And right across them, there's always a rally at 1:30, 2 a.m. And it's this Christian group that's always has these signs. And I'm like, these kids are all drunk. What do you expect them to do? And of course, there's 10, 20 kids that stop and start yelling at these people.
Always.
And it's like, I don't understand what message you're trying to get across by, first of all, having this protest and all these kids are drunk.
Well, they're trying to tell you that you shouldn't be drunk at 2 a.m. in the morning.
It's like you're sinning, and it's like, okay, the time that you spend standing on the street corner, you could be going out and helping people. You could be making a difference in a much better way.
That's like the people that protested the Women's Center.
Mm-hmm.
Because, murderer, baby killer and all. How many of y'all filed adoption papers? Y'all are out here protesting. Okay, if the young lady has the baby and she can't take care of it, are you adopting that baby? Help me out with that.
No, and on top of it, it's a horrible system that the kid goes through to begin with, and also, you don't know if this individual was raped. You don't know what she's been through, and if she, why would she want? It's her decision.
Those protesters make no sense to me. I know what they're trying to do. You know, I know the point they're trying to make.
The whole pro-life thing,
But
which, you know.
But making the point once she's made the very difficult decision to go into the women's center, that's not really the time and place to make that point, I would think. Maybe counseling the young lady before she got to the point where she was thinking about, you know, going into a women's center. Maybe that would have been. I just don't. Maybe it's just me that I'm not the kind of person that'll just go and protest something.
Mm-hmm.
I won't go. If I got a problem, I'll go to somebody individually and say, look, I got a problem. Here's the deal. I'm not getting a large group of people. Let's go stand across the street and yell at them. No. If I got a problem with you, you're going to know I have a problem with you.
This is where Anita needs to be here because she would be all for that.
Yeah, but I guess I just don't. I guess I'm different. I may be wired different. I mean, because Jake's probably a big protester. He probably, you know.
Oh, yeah. You know me. All too well. No.
We're protesting BF Goodrich tires. We're a Goodyear team. No Firestone for us. That's those open wheel jerks. We're Goodyear.
Stuff like that has happened.
I know it has.
But I couldn't imagine
Who's your
being
Goodyear?
fired up enough to actually like lead a protest, or you know, it would have to be something that was pretty big.
I remember when I was in college, Amnesty International was a big group on the Georgia Southern campus. And they would always be protesting some political prisoner. And I know people are going to vilify me for this. I was like, I don't know who the hell that is. Why does that bother my life? Oh, free so-and-so out of prisons in Tibet. What the hell do I care about Tibet? Ain't bothering me.
That's the way I think about it. I'm like, it's going to get solved. It's going to get figured out.
Free so-and-so in Argentina. Not going to Argentina anytime soon. Why does it bother me?
It's not directly affecting you.
I mean, that was my attitude in college. Free so-and-so, why? Is it going to do anything to better my situation? No, because I don't even know who that person is. And like I remember the Nelson Mandela thing, and I understand why Nelson Mandela was in prison. There was huge movements on the Georgia Southern campus. Free Mandela, free Mandela. I'm like, free yourself from in front of the cafeteria so I can get in there and get some lunch. How about that? People would get so angry at me, but I guess that's just who I was. I never gave it that much. I guess I'm self-absorbed is what it is.
At Stetson University, a lot of the kids will have booths set up, and then they'll have like, oh, can you please fill out this survey? Can you please fill out this waiver? I'm trying to legalize marijuana and blah, blah, blah. And, I mean, it's just not me.
I guess. It doesn't, for this to turn into knives and sticks and bottles just doesn't seem like it makes much sense to me.
But, I mean, what do they expect having a protest like that, though?
I know. Just like you said, the people that come out at the bar at 2 a.m. and start screaming at college kids that have been drinking all night, what do you expect they're going to do?
No, because you have
hey,
signs
thanks,
saying,
you're right. You've saved my
they
soul.
have
I'm going
signs saying
home.
You're going to hell. And it's like, yeah, that's what you want to see at 2 a.m.
See, and that's what I always tell people. No, I'm not. I'm Catholic. We start there. We graduate. People right now that are listening to Catholic, what are you talking? Never mind. I'm just kidding, folks. Comedy.
I'm okay with that, but it's when they bring little kids into it.
Oh yeah.
That's when it drives me insane because you got a little 7-8-year-old who has no idea what he's standing there for.
No, none. Hey, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up hour number 1, get hour number 2 set up right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Have you been diagnosed with BPH or an enlarged prostate gland? Are you tired of getting up at night to visit the bathroom? You may be eligible for the Equinox study, a clinical research study of an investigational drug to reduce the number of times you wake up to urinate at night, a condition known as nocturia. To qualify, you must be male, be at least 18 years of age, have been diagnosed with BPH, have been bothered by nocturia for at least 1 year, and meet additional study requirements. Qualified participants will receive all study medication and study-related care from a dedicated team of medical staff at no cost. Health insurance is not required to participate. Again, the Equinox study is for males, ages 18 and older, who are diagnosed with BPH and have been bothered by nocturia for at least 1 year. To find out more and to see if you qualify, please call 1-352-234-8436. That's 1-352-234-8436.
Do you like Vietnamese food? Well, come to Kim Long's, Ocala's one and only Vietnamese restaurant.
The goal of Kim Long's is to capture the authenticity of the Vietnamese homeland and get a taste of other influences within the Vietnamese cuisine. They're open Monday through Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Sundays, 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can make reservations by calling 352-236-5791. That's Kim Long, Ocala's only Vietnamese restaurant.
This is Kendall Carpenter with Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. I want to introduce you to the finest equestrian opportunity available. If you love horses and enjoy Central Florida's mild climate and rich rolling landscape, come explore Golden Ocala. Bridle trails weave their way through this stunningly beautiful community of stately homes. Our state-of-the-art equestrian center will meet all of your equestrian needs with style. Visit us at goldenocala.com.
The 47th Annual God and Country Day is the Independence Day Family Festival, brought to you by the Ocala JCs. Come on July 4th at Highway 27th and 80 to treat yourself to some live entertainment, art and craft vendors, great food, pony rides, and more. Plus, of course, an outstanding fireworks show. The fun starts at noon and ends when the fireworks do. The 47th Annual God and Country Day. Check out the website, ocalagodandcountry.com. Come celebrate being an American.
Need to sell your house? Discover how to easily sell your house fast and for full price in today's market. Join us live this Friday, 9:30 a.m. for Mr. Ocala Real Estate Today. Sell your house now. Full price, fast close. Guaranteed. Call 352-282-3080. 352-282-3080. And join us live right here, 9:30 a.m. Friday.
This is Kendall Carpenter with Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. I want to introduce you to the finest equestrian opportunity available. If you love horses and enjoy Central Florida's mild climate and rich rolling landscape, come explore Golden Ocala. Bridle trails weave their way through this stunningly beautiful community of stately homes. Our state-of-the-art equestrian center will meet all of your equestrian needs with style. Visit us at goldenocala.com.
WWWOCA,
Be sure to tune in to Ocala's longest-running morning radio talk show.
AM Ocala Live from 7 a.m. till noon weekdays.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Visit the WOCA website at www.woca.com.
WOCA.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala on a Monday afternoon. You know, it's a world full of social media. You can now be a part of the Buddy Martin Media Voice of Ocala Facebook page. You just go like the page. There's Buddy Martin Media Instagram page. There's all kind of pages. WOCA has a Facebook page. WOCA's got a website, WOCA.com, where you can go. You can access a lot of our clients' websites through there and everything. So social media is everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Periscope, all kind of things. Most of them are very good. But I'm so tired, and it's my favorite social media and the one I hate the most at the same time. And it's Twitter.
That's why when I got
I love Twitter.
When I got Twitter, I just stopped. I still have it, but I just don't use it.
I love Twitter. It's a great app. You can get great messages out there. It's a great way to push things you're doing. But it also has way too many 140-character cowards. And that's what they are.
True.
They're 140-character cowards. And this weekend, a commentator, a columnist, a gifted writer brought that to my attention, that somebody's using Twitter as a 140-character bully, not a coward, because this person's not scared to use Twitter. They let you know it's them using it. But this guy who quit the Republican Party made a very valid point about Twitter that kind of made me laugh. I'll tell you about that when we start hour number 2. Also, Franz Beard will join us in hour number 2. He writes for FightingGators.com. He'll be in at 4:30. We'll talk some politics with Franz Beard, as he's very well versed in politics as well. Plus, we'll talk with him in the 5 o'clock hour about Pat Summitt, the legendary women's basketball coach at the University of Tennessee, who is she suffers from dementia, and her family reported this weekend that her health has taken a sad turn. Plus, Jake Perkins and I will discuss the race that was Sonoma, California. What was it? It was the Walmart, Safeway, Pick and Save, CVS 350 or something like that. I forget what it was.
Toyota Safe Mart.
There we go. See, I knew it was one of those. We'll talk about that. Plus, Joe Williams from Mile High Sports. All that yet to come right here on WOCA, The Source.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price of fixed rate alone.
Who let the cars out?
Vroom, 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 vroom.
Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. I've been working like a dog and haven't hit the auction. Now I'm in the doghouse. I need cars.
If you'll help us stock our lot, we'll help you turn your tail and break free from your old ride.
You could get a lot more than Kelly Blue Book for your old ride, depending on your pick of the litter.
Is your credit a little rough? Every dog has its day, and my For the People credit approval process is top dog.
Who let the banks out?
Don't stay chained to your old ride. You could get up to a lot more than it's worth and be howling at the moon in a nicer, newer car today.
But hurry, this deal's over once we've helped 77 people get a nicer, newer ride. I'm Chris Spears, a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales this weekend on Highway 200 in Ocala, or see all the cars at PrestigeForYou.com. Or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
From beautiful townhomes to equestrian estates, Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club provides the perfect haven of elegance for any homeowner. Not to mention our championship golf course, award-winning tennis program, state-of-the-art spa, and new luxury equestrian suite. We offer an array of membership options to suit a variety of lifestyles. Call 352-369-6969 today for more information about our latest real estate offerings.
Located in Ocala, Rinstar Medical Research has offered a wide range of clinical research trials for 17 years. Rinstar conducts clinical trials for conditions such as migraines, memory decline, fibromyalgia, and sun-damaged skin. To learn more, call Rinstar at 352-629-5800. Help us create a healthier tomorrow by volunteering today. Please call Rinstar at 352-629-5800.
If you missed the Voice of Ocala recently, you missed Coffee with the Mayor, where Ocala Mayor Kent Gwynn talked about the downtown parking garage.
Parking garages, that'll be up, they told me, the end of this month. But they'll frame it out and have everything, all the pieces of the puzzle put together, so to speak. And then they'll start wiring it, plumbing, and this, that, and the other, putting the elevator in there. But yeah, I mean, things are moving along.
Be sure to listen to the Voice of Ocala weekday afternoons on WOCA, The Source.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Garden Brothers Circus is coming to Ocala.
July 9th at 1:30, 4:30, and 7:30 p.m.
Don't miss your last chance to see elephants live.
Also featuring racing camels, the human slingshot, and Chinese acrobats.
Plus, America's Got Talent duo hand balancing act, motorcycle daredevils, and the funniest clowns that'll even make mom and dad laugh.
The first 100 adult tickets sold online are only $9.95 at GardenBrosCircus.com.
Or get your tickets at the box office on show day.
At the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion.
Again, that's GardenBrosCircus.com.
Has it really been 1 year? Kim Long Vietnamese Restaurant is having a celebration to commemorate the 1 year anniversary since they started on this culinary journey. As part of the celebration, Kim Long will be offering great discounts to their beloved customers as a thank you. For the entire month of June, all meals are 10% off and kids eat free from 3 to 5 p.m. Domestic beers are $1 and import beers are $2. Kim Long is open daily 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday noon to 10 p.m. That's Kim Long Vietnamese Restaurant, 1022 South Pine Avenue in Ocala.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
The most trusted name in news, Fox News, every half hour, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
WOCA.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carol McHugh. The Supreme Court hands down a victory for abortion proponents.
The Texas laws require doctors who perform abortions to have privileges to admit patients to a local hospital. They also required abortion clinics to have facilities that are comparable to outpatient surgical centers. The High Court ruling by 5-3 that the Republican-backed law placed an undue burden on women exercising their constitutional right to end a pregnancy.
Fox's Jill Nato. More rain making a bad situation worse for flood-ravaged West Virginia.
Governor Earl Ray Tomlin's been touring the damage.
To see water this high, this quick, with this much devastation is almost unheard of.
Greenbrier County is one of the hardest hit areas. It continues to be pounded by rain. Flash flood watches are up for more than 20 counties.
Fox's Eben Brown. More Brexit fallout. Standard & Poor's downgrades the UK's credit rating from AAA to AA. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Any Tom, Dick, or Harry can tell you that Geico could save you money on car insurance. But since money talks, why not go straight to the source?
Hey, Harry's Money here. And the day Harry went to Geico.com and switched his car insurance was the day I got to hang around. Finally, boys bonding, bada bing, bada boom. No wonder Geico has 97% customer satisfaction. Personally, I give him 100, but that's just my 2 cents. That was funny.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
My name is Roosevelt. I always thought that cigarette smoking just messed up your lungs. I never thought that at only 45 would give me a heart attack. And I never thought that it would change my life forever. My tip is, do your heart a favor and quit now.
Heart attack risk drops as soon as you quit. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW for help getting free medication, if available and eligible. That's 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry. We didn't leave you.
He's gone. He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma. Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala.
Hoo-ah! You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala, hour number 2 of the Voice of Ocala. Some strange going-ons in England right now, in the United Kingdom. They voted last week to leave the European Union in a very, very close vote. And now looks like they may be having a little buyer's remorse. there's a petition with over 2 million signatures on it that they want to vote on it again.
What?
And there is a stipulation that Parliament can start debating whether it should be voted on again because that many people have signed a petition. So, and now it's looking like people are saying that people wouldn't have voted so readily on it if they knew the whole story and everything, and that Britain's facing one of the most uncertain times as an island all alone.
Well, you probably should have thought of that before you decided to take a vote.
Well, it was so very hotly contested. Scottish people voted to stay in the Union. Irish people voted to stay to go. But British Union, British people, Wales, England, but the vote was cast and to withdraw from the European Union was voted in. I think it would be a damage to the idea of democracy if you went back and said, let's do a do-over, because we didn't like the result. We now looking at it, we don't like the results we got the first time.
Exactly. I think that would be ridiculous. Just because you don't get who wants the revote? Is it the United Kingdom or the EU?
They say Britain now has a nasty hangover from this vote. And Cameron, by the way, the Prime Minister, he resigned because he was against the pullout. So he said, obviously, the European Union was something that the English people didn't want to be a part of, and I did, so I can no longer lead them effectively. So he's resigning his post as Prime Minister, which in effect would be like our president resigning his post.
Oh my. So for the 28 countries that are in the European Union, how many were for the United Kingdom?
Well, the United Kingdom didn't vote on it. The 28 states didn't vote on it. Just people in the UK voted.
And they themselves were able to do that?
They voted to leave. Just like, there's a provision, although some people say it's unconstitutional, there's a provision written into some state constitutions that allow for a referendum or a vote to leave the United States.
So they basically came to a conclusion that they wanted to leave. And now all the other countries that are in the Union don't want them?
No, the people in Britain that voted for it are now going, can we get a do-over? So a lot of uncertainty going on in the UK right now, and it's affecting markets across the world because of the uncertainty going on in England. It's still that's gonna a while to play out. We're gonna. This isn't something we're just gonna go. It almost feels like one of those stories, and I'm not likening it to the murders at all. But I remember when I first heard about the wife of superstar O.J. Simpson found brutally slain at her townhome in California. It was a little blurb on, when you listen to the news like we have the Fox News at the top of the hour, that little one minute blurb. It was a blurb like that, and you went, oh, well, that's odd. O.J. Simpson's estranged wife is killed. Wow. Wonder how that's going to end up. That was your first thought when you heard it. Well, when you saw, my first thought immediately when I read this about the European Union on Friday was, everything I'd said it wasn't going to come out this way. That's kind of odd that it happened. But I got that same feeling that this story is, we just getting away with this story because as the O.J. Simpson story evolved, then, it really blew up. And this European Union thing originally was, the UK votes to pull out of the European Union. And now here's Katie with the weather, and it caught me like, it's got to be more than, there's more to this than just that. So
what would be like the advantages or disadvantages for them leaving?
The advantages is they have control over their own currency. They have control over their own borders. They have control over who they can say can come in and out of their borders without their permission. They also have control over the deals they can work with individual countries to buy goods and services. They don't have to go with what the European Union negotiates. They can negotiate their own deals with countries around the world. So it gives them more control of their country. Instead of like You got to think of the European Union as 28 states instead of 28 countries. If you want to do something we're used to, it'd be like if one of the states of the United States said, this isn't working out for us. We're going to become our own state, our own country. Even though they were all countries, and the problem is each state has a governor, but we have we have a leader of our federal government, the president, that oversees the government of all 50 states. Whereas each one of those are countries, and each person is in charge of their own country.
Yep.
So it's like 28 presidents, and that's a little difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we're going to see a lot more coming out of this, and it's going to affect a lot of what happens to our markets and all here. But it's just one of those stories that when you first heard it, you thought, that's a little weird. That wasn't how you thought it, because everything I'd seen and everything I'd read said there was going to be a very close vote, but they thought that the UK would probably stay in the European Union. And then they didn't, and you were like,
I just thought it was funny because I have a teammate from Europe, and I have a lot of teammates from over there from Europe, and it's like they've been bashing the United States about as far as
the elections
and everything. Yeah. And I'm like, look at what's going on in your country.
So you're kind of just vindictive like that.
Yeah, a little bit. It made me kind of happy, but I mean, as far as our relations, the U.S., the relations we have with them, how that's going to be affected and everything, that I do feel bad about.
Yeah. So it's, UK's relationship with the United States will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's why ultimately I think if the UK, whichever way they decide, the UK will be fine because their relationship with the U.S. is really key to their success, not their relationship with France or Germany or Greece or, it's a relationship with the United States. Remember, the founding forefathers were Englishmen. Okay, so there's quite a tie between the two countries. So, but it's going to be an interesting story. It's going to play out. It's going to be an interesting way it plays out. So I can't wait to continue following that story. George Will, who is a incredible columnist, a Republican, or was a Republican until this weekend, but a conservative columnist, which you don't find very many of. He had some scathing things to say about Twitter and how people use Twitter. I'll tell you about that next. 4:30, Franz Beard joins us. We'll talk about it. Get Franz's take on the European Union. I'm sure Franz has a take on the vote that was in the UK. And then we'll talk to Franz in the 5 o'clock hour about legendary Tennessee women's basketball coach Pat Summitt. She is not doing well health-wise. We'll find out from Franz just what he knows. And Jake Perkins and I will have a discussion about the Sonoma race that was NASCAR's race yesterday. A guy who desperately needed to win, raced like he desperately needed to win, took some chances with pit strategy, and then took some chances with the bumper of one of his opponents. We'll talk about that. And then Joe Williams of Mile High Sports joins us. All that yet to come right here on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
Your quality of life is meant to be fully enjoyed each day. The doctors at Ayers Global understand that and strive to provide a quality of life for you that has no equal. Ayers Therapeutic Services combines naturopathic and family medicine to help all your health needs. Diabetic management, hypertension, pain management, and anti-aging are just a few of the services offered by the Ayers family. Call 352-512-0222 today, and Ayers Therapeutic Services will help you begin to understand that better health begins with you.
Do you remember when summer was a celebration? No schools, no worries, just days packed with your favorite pastime. It was the splendid season you dreamed of all year long. But as you got older and busier, the summer seemed to lose its sparkle. Where did those carefree days go? Well, they're closer than you think. Summer's still sensational at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club, where you can come out and play the grown-up way with our affordable summer memberships. Enjoy our championship golf course celebrating the game's greatest holes, Hartrue tennis courts, and a state-of-the-art fitness center. Explore our stately 77,000 square foot clubhouse and unwind at our relaxing spa.
Don't forget the pool!
It's a summer unlike any other, and it's yours with a Golden Ocala summer membership. You can call Golden Ocala at 629-6229 to inquire about a summer membership, or you can visit goldenocala.com to learn more. That's goldenocala.com.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
In 1870, federal legislation established July 4th as a national holiday. The Voice of South Marion wants to remind you of the freedom that it represents. Have fun and enjoy all the celebrations, but remember to keep it safe. Don't drink and drive, auto, or boat. Be careful with fireworks and never allow youngsters to be unsupervised. Make this holiday one to remember for all the fun. Happy Independence Day from your friends at the Voice of South Marion.
Need to sell your house? Discover how to easily sell your house fast and for full price in today's market. Join us live this Friday, 9:30 a.m. for Mr. Ocala Real Estate Today. Sell your house now. Full price, fast close. Guaranteed. Call 352-282-3080. 352-282-3080. And join us live right here, 9:30 a.m. Friday.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 572-2510. That's 572-2510.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala on a Monday afternoon. Coming up at 4:30, Franz Beard joins us for a little world discussion. Then we're going to talk about the legendary Tennessee women's basketball coach Pat Summitt at the 5 o'clock hour. Plus, maybe we'll get Franz to tell us if the Gator football team, because it's football season now. Baseball season's over. It's football season now. We'll get to Franz to talk about that. Jake Perkins and I are going to have a discussion about the race that was in Sonoma yesterday. One of the better finishes you will ever see in NASCAR happened on a road course yesterday. The type of venue that the diehard NASCAR fan will tell you is I'm not even racing. Well, there was a whole lot of rubbing going on yesterday as they finished that thing up in Sonoma yesterday. And then we'll talk with Joe Williams of Mile High Sports, the cantankerous one, at 5:40 to see what's going on in his world that's aggravating him, because everything aggravates him. But when we went to break, I told you I was going to tell you about George Will. George Will left the Republican Party over the weekend. Conservative columnist who says that he can't support anything that supports Donald Trump. which is, by the way, the reason we live in the greatest country in the world is because we have the freedom to do those exact same things, those things. George Will, who is a brilliant wordsmith, I don't think that's arguable. George Will, he writes some incredible things. He's not a fan of Twitter. And sometimes I think Twitter at times, and I know lots of people that think this, that at times Twitter is one of the greatest inventions known to man, and at other times, why in the hell do we have Twitter? Well, George Will said about Donald Trump when Donald Trump took to Twitter to say some things about what he thought, as Donald Trump will always do, about George Will leaving the Republican Party. George Will said something along the lines of, Donald Trump can say the things he can say in 140 words. I'm more gifted. 140 characters, I'm more gifted than that. So George Will told basically said, Donald Trump, I'm a writer. You're just a guy who gets 140 characters in and bullying people. But Donald Trump, whether you like Donald Trump, you don't like Donald Trump, he has used social media and Twitter. He has changed the way politics will be done from this point forward. And I like one of the best quotes he did. Jake Perkins, you brought this one up earlier, when Hillary Clinton tweeted at Donald Trump, you should shut your Twitter account down. You're a disgrace. You should delete your account. And what did he respond to her, Jake?
You should show me how. You seem to be pretty good at deleting things.
So Donald Trump knows how to, and by the way, I don't know if that's actually Donald Trump or if he has a savvy staff doing that, but I would dare say, knowing what we know about the Donald, it's probably the Donald with his phone in his hand. He says he does a lot of it, yeah. It's probably the Donald with his phone in his hand. So I remember, let's turn Fran's mic up if we get him in here real quick. I remember in my lifetime, 1979, 1980, there was a presidential election going on, 79, 80. And there was this cowboy movie actor that people thought was brash and had no business trying to run for the highest office in the land. He'd lost primaries. He'd lost trying to get the bid badly in 1976 to Gerald Ford. And people thought, we can't have this cowboy in the White House. He'll be a danger to us. Just look how he doesn't think before he says things. He wants to build a high military, and he wants to shut down a lot of the social services that we need to make this country great. And we can't do this. He's a maniac.
He was down 21 points prior to his convention, and he ends up beating Jimmy Carter in a landslide.
I think the guy from Eureka College probably did a pretty good job as president.
Do you know something? There's a lot of parallels between Reagan and Donald Trump in that Reagan was a terrific communicator with people, and everybody misread. Even going into the election, 2 days before the election, the predictions were that Carter was going to win by 5 or 6 points. And it turned out Reagan just totally destroyed him. Goes back to something I remember from the Nixon years. I'm a little bit older than you, so I remember voting for Richard Nixon. My first presidential election that I ever got to vote in was for Richard Nixon. And something Richard Nixon said, the great silent majority.
And Donald Trump's used that. Exactly.
Reagan did it too. I think what scares people about Trump, it is the same thing that excites people about Trump. What excites people about Trump is that people are tired of being bullied by Democrats. People are tired of being bullied by liberals who say that if we say it, it's okay, but if you say it, it's hate speech. It's whatever like that. And I think people are tired of that. I was with some people over the weekend, by the way, and they're all educated, and they said they're all voting for Donald Trump. And they asked me, they said, which one of us is dumb? I said, none of you. I said, well, why is it that all of our liberal friends say we're stupid, say that the only people who want to vote for Donald Trump are stupid? Said, we all have advanced degrees.
Well, we've talked about this on this show numerous times, that it's the first time in a presidential election that I can remember where both candidates are overwhelmingly underliked by the electorate. When Hillary Clinton has an approval rating about 38%, Donald Trump, according to polls, is somewhere around 37%. So they're equally disliked. We've talked about a lot of the millennials here. It's their first election cycle, and they think it's terrible that we're going to vote for somebody because we don't like somebody else.
Well, I hear that, but why is it that Donald Trump got more votes in any Republican primary
than in the history
than anybody in history? Tell me, I mean, I keep hearing how many people dislike him. Well, why is it that everybody?
Well, Paul Ryan says he won't have dinner with him, but he's a Republican presumptive nominee, so he's going to back him, but he wouldn't have dinner with him.
Paul Ryan's going to be lucky to be reelected in his own district. It's even Steven in his own district right now.
By the way, nowhere is it said that you must like somebody to support them. Nobody will know who Tommy Spangler is. Well, you'll probably know who Tommy Spangler is, but Tommy Spangler was not liked. I, to this day, don't have 3 kind words to say to Tommy Spangler when I see him at reunions. But he was the best damn defensive coordinator I ever played for.
Yeah. Well, you talk to a lot of people who played for Bear Bryant, and they will tell you he was a mean old SOB, and they can think of everything like that. And then you say, well, you hate him, right? And they say, well, no, I love the man. And well, why are you saying all these bad things about him? Because they're true.
Yeah, I didn't like Tommy Spangler at all. Still don't like Tommy Spangler. But would have went to the end of the earth for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he was that kind of, person, and that's what I think is a lot of Donald Trump. People don't necessarily like a lot of things Donald's saying, but they still see the need for something different, and that's what Donald Trump's offering. Donald Trump's not beholden to Wall Street. He's paying his own way. He made a very good point the other day when they said, how much money you've raised versus Hillary. He said, yeah, but how many backroom deals has Hillary made that I haven't had to make?
Well, here's the other thing. I heard Trump say it last week. He said, they say you only have $1.3 million in cash. He says, well, if I need to write a check, I'll write a check.
Exactly. That's the thing. So it's going to be an interesting election season. It looks like that it could go, either way. And when you talk about history, we'll talk about this at 4:30. I can tell you when we get back after the break, I can tell you a parallel that is almost verbatim what is going on in 2016. It was a group of people who were fed up with the established political party. And by the Reagan Carter thing, those were 2 established political parties just going after each other. This was a group of people who were fed up with the established political party. They were fed up with how the established political party, contrary to what they voted, snatched an election away from them and gave the White House to somebody that they didn't feel deserved it. And it was the Americans' desire to tell that party in charge, you no longer are the party that you say you are, that won a presidential election. And it's eerily similar all the way down to the crazy hair that both candidates have. I'll tell you about that at 4:30. Franz Beard joins us. He is with FightingGators.com, but he's also very versed in the political scene. He's a man that is a world traveler. He's lived in London. You've been to Costa Rica numerous times.
London, Germany. I've lived in London, Germany, Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Dominican Republic, and Costa Rica.
So that just means either you're a world traveler or people get fed up with you and throw you out of their country.
Every decent, it tells you that I'm a typical American. Every decent country in the world's kicked me out of at least one.
Then we'll get an update from Franz about a very serious issue. Legendary coach Pat Summitt from the women's coach at the University of Tennessee. Her health is, as you know, not in good shape. We'll get an update from Franz, what he can tell us. Jake Perkins and I will talk about NASCAR over the weekend, a great finish to the Sonoma race. And then Joe Williams from Mile High Sports joins us all in this hour. Coming up after the break, though, I'll give you that similarity all the way from how the electorate votes to massive record numbers turned out to vote for a presidential election, all the way to the crazy hair the candidate had, the parallels that are eerily similar to 2016. I'll tell you about that next. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
by bank approval. Vehicle purchase price fixed rate 11.
Who let the cars out?
Vroom, 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 vroom.
Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. I've been working like a dog and haven't hit the auction. Now I'm in the doghouse. I need cars.
If you'll help us stock our lot, we'll help you turn your tail and break free from your old ride.
You could get a lot more than Kelly Blue Book for your old ride, depending on your pick of the litter.
Is your credit a little rough? Every dog has its day, and my For the People credit approval process is top dog.
Who let the banks out?
Don't stay chained to your old ride. You could get up to a lot more than it's worth and be howling at the moon in a nicer, newer car today.
But hurry, this deal's over once we've helped 77 people get a nicer, newer ride. I'm Chris Spears, a dealer for the people.
Visit Prestige Auto Sales this weekend on Highway 200 in Ocala, or see all the cars at PrestigeForYou.com, or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Do you suffer with frequent migraines? If you've experienced several migraines each month for at least the past year, you may qualify for a clinical research study. To find out more information about this study, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. All study medications and study-related procedures are at no cost to you, and insurance is not required. Compensation for time and travel will be provided. Again, if you suffer frequent migraines, please call Rinstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. That's 352-629-5800. Rinstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carol McHugh. The Supreme Court hands down a victory for abortion proponents.
The Texas laws require doctors who perform abortions to have privileges to admit patients to a local hospital. They also required abortion clinics to have facilities that are comparable to outpatient surgical centers. The High Court ruling by 5-3 that the Republican-backed law placed an undue burden on women exercising their constitutional right to end a pregnancy.
Fox's Jill Nato. More rain making a bad situation worse for flood-ravaged West Virginia.
Governor Earl Ray Tomblin's been touring the damage.
To see water this high, this quick, with this much devastation is almost unheard of.
Greenbrier County is one of the hardest hit areas. It continues to be pounded by rain. Flash flood watches are up for more than 20 counties.
Fox's Eben Brown. More Brexit fallout. Standard & Poor's downgrades the UK's credit rating from AAA to AA. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Any Tom, Dick, or Harry can tell you that Geico could save you money on car insurance. But since money talks, why not go straight to the source?
Hey, Harry's Money here. And the day Harry went to Geico.com and switched his car insurance was the day I got to hang around. Finally, boys bonding, bada bing, bada boom. No wonder Geico has 97% customer satisfaction. Personally, I give him 100, but that's just my 2 cents. That was funny.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
My name is Roosevelt. I always thought that cigarette smoking just messed up your lungs. I never thought that at only 45 would give me a heart attack. And I never thought that it would change my life forever. My tip is, do your heart a favor and quit now.
Heart attack risk drops as soon as you quit. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW for help getting free medication, if available and eligible. That's 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Now through Saturday, Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens announces a few unadvertised, radio-only specials. All fruit trees, including lemon, lime, tangerine, sweet kumquat, grapefruit, and many more, all half price this weekend only. Huge new selection of pottery and metal yard art. You've got to see this, all 20% off. And fall blooming camellias, regularly $19.99, reduced to a super low $6.99, but only now through this Saturday. Gotta tell you also, these are the last few days of the BOGO on crepe myrtles. All, I said every last one of Bob's crepe myrtles, large and small, buy one, get one free. Hurry though, these are super secret, unadvertised deals now through Saturday only. It's at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, just east of Pine Street. Daily till 4, Saturdays till 2. Homegrown, locally owned, in the same place since 1952.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs. And all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
WWWOCA,
This is WOCA, News Talk 1370.
This is James Snyder, inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala. I'm Tom Schmitz, along with Franz Beard. Franz was with FightingGators.com, a contributor to this show every Monday. Franz, how long have you and Buddy known each other? You and Buddy known each other upwards of 30 years, haven't you?
Closer to like 43.
Franz and Buddy, I'll tell you a great story Buddy tells, that the trip that was to SEC Media Days that y'all took in the car together.
Oh, goodness, yeah.
He said that was one of the best things. They went to back roads of Alabama to get up to Hoover.
We went for, well, what happened was SEC Media Days had ended, and we had a dual speaking engagement in Huntsville with the Rocket City Gator Club. We did that together for several years. And after it was over, we had to be in Atlanta the next morning because Buddy had to meet somebody there. So we went the back roads through Alabama, through the mountains and everything like that, and got down to Atlanta. And quite frankly, this is a pre-GPS, and we weren't really sure until we got to Rome, Georgia,
that you were even close to where you needed to be.
We had we went places. I thought we stopped to get something to drink in one of these places where you go in there and they take one look at you and they're already measuring you up. What kind of stranger are you?
Oh yeah,
being here at this time of night.
I know, living in the mountains of North Carolina, I know exactly what you're talking about. So, Franz, we were talking about presidential elections and how this one's shaping up. An outsider who the inside beltway doesn't think belongs and it is a terrible choice, and the country will go into a tailspin and will become a cesspool of just inequity and inability to function. And it reminds me of 1824, because that's exactly what was said about Andrew Jackson. He was an outsider from Tennessee, a woodsman, uneducated, racist, just a dirty man. How dare he chewed tobacco and spit on the floor and everything. He rode that nasty fleabag horse of his. The Andrew Jackson was thought of as a commoner who was just a country guy who had done well in the War of 1812, but he'd done well fighting against savages and all, and just not very educated. And the insiders, the Federalists at the time, who were the controlling party, were very frightened of Andrew Jackson because the people loved Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson had an election stolen from him, just like the Republicans were threatening to do to Donald Trump in the primaries. And that's when I started looking at more and more of the similarities, all the way down to the crazy hair. Andrew Jackson had a mane of hair, a lot like that Donald has. He was an outsider, not beholden to anybody. Got in trouble for bringing cronies with him to the White House, and that's why he didn't last very long. But it just seems eerily similar to me, an outsider that the inside says is a rotten scoundrel who's terrible for the world and will do nothing but bring us down to the dregs of just inhumanity if he's elected. And I
Isn't
thought,
that what we got with Obama?
I thought, well, no, he wasn't an outsider.
Well, but I mean, a guy that brought us down to, that was going
Remember,
to bring us down to the dregs of society.
He was a senator. He was a community activist. He was part of the in crowd. He was the fastest rising Democrat that there was. He was on the fast track. He was the Marco Rubio of the Democratic Party.
In 2004, on the night of the elections, Bush got reelected. I was in Chicago at the Sloan House Sheraton, and I was testifying in a federal trial, which is across the street at the Dirksen Law Center. 2 floors below me, they had the victory party for Senator Barack Obama, who had come from nowhere, and the comment then was, "What has he ever done?"
He did
and
nothing.
4 years later, the comment was, "What has he ever done?" And 4 years after that was, "What has he ever done?" And he's going to leave the White House with, there will be things about what has he ever done. He screwed up the country. But that's okay.
In fairness to Barack Obama, he did graduated order from high school.
Oh, okay.
Very good, very good. His name is on what some people will say is the most important piece of legislation, good or bad, to ever come out of Washington. And the people that tell you it was terrible will tell you it's a piece of important legislation because of how terrible it is and how it shows how far in the bottom we've went as Americans. The people who are in favor of Obamacare will tell you it's the greatest piece of legislation ever because of how much it gave the United States of America free and health care to the masses. So either way, both sides have something about Obamacare that they think is great because it gives them something they can talk about. I know that very little. He never introduced any bills on the Senate floor when he was a senator. I know that. He's done something. He can hang his hat on, although I'm not sure he had anything to do with it. He can say that he got public enemy number 1 eradicated. Well, the SEAL Team 6 did, but he is the commander in chief.
Whoever had been the president of the United
was going to
States
get credit for that.
Was going to get credit for that.
But he was president during the time, so he gets credit. My question is, now, I know what Donald Trump's done. Everybody says, yeah, well, he bankrupted the casinos. He bankrupted Trump University. He's had 8 or 10 things that have been terrible. No. He's had about 450 successes where he's made millions and millions of dollars for people.
Here's the thing. Donald Trump has incorporated more than 700 businesses. 4 have gone Chapter 11. They didn't go Chapter 13. Chapter 13 means you have gone totally
rebuilding. Chapter 11,
total belly up. All 4 of the casinos went into casinos and other businesses went into reorganization. So, if you look at what is the national average for businesses that go belly up? It's pretty high.
Well, yeah, I was in the restaurant business. The adage in the restaurant business was 99 of 100 restaurants go belly up in the first year.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the thing. He's done 4. He's incorporated more than 700 businesses, and 4 of them have failed. Okay. How many people died at Benghazi?
4.
Yeah.
That
was in the first year.
I got that.
That was in less than 1 year.
And one person, the Benghazi, there's some stuff that was released about Benghazi says that the ambassador was tortured and was constantly being tortured for 6 or 7 hours after he'd asked for help.
Well, and of course, the answer we get from
somebody says, well, she was Secretary of State. She was not Commander-in-Chief at the time.
Well, the answer we get from the Hildebeest is, what difference does it make?
Well, that is what Hillary Rodham Clinton said. What difference does it make? I know that there's still, and people say, well, you can't bring up stuff from 1992. I still know that there are people that are broke because of Whitewater.
Yeah.
I know that. I know there's a man who either committed suicide or didn't commit suicide in a park who was fixing to give a deposition about Whitewater. I know that.
Oh, yeah. There is a trail of bad things happening. I'm not just going to talk about people and events behind the Clintons.
And we don't look. I keep Bill out of this, And people say, well, you shouldn't keep Bill out of this. Bill's just as much. See, we know Bill's transgressions. We know what Bill did and everything. Hillary's running on I'm the choice of the people, women's rights. Hillary doesn't want Bill included in this very much. So she's going to have to stop. People go ahead and say, well, you got to think about Bill and everything. I think this comes down to an outsider versus an insider, and who has the ability to get the electorate to the polling booth. And I think Hillary's going to have a serious problem if the Republican National Committee and Donald Trump and his people will start pointing out the way that the radical Islamic State and the jihadists have been given pretty much in my opinion, pretty much carte blanche by this administration to do whatever without this administration saying that's what's going on. Now, I'll ask the millennials, am I reading that wrong, or is that how y'all are seeing this?
Absolutely.
I agree with everything.
Well,
but I thought the young people thought Hillary was great, and that she is.
She has a serious disconnect with young people. The thing about it is where she has her connect is with people who want status quo, which is why certain Republicans, such as George Will, say, well, I'll go vote for Hillary. Fine, George. Don't let the screen door hit you in the butt on the way out. Breitbart had an interesting thing. They announced that George was leaving, and I can't remember how many thousands of comments they were, but it was like 97% of the comments were good riddance. He has,
He's a brilliant wordsmith, though.
Well, there's a lot of people who are brilliant.
There's a lot of brilliant wordsmiths.
There's a lot of brilliant wordsmiths.
I'm not one of them, but
there's a lot of brilliant wordsmiths out there that I wouldn't give the time of day to.
Yeah, I know one of them in Gainesville. Oh, wait, but I'm not going to tell anybody's name.
Oh, you're talking about me probably, but that's okay.
No, I would never talk about you that way, Fred, but you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, but here's just because you can write well, just because you can speak well, if it were all about speaking well, Marco Rubio would be the Republican nominee. Nobody speaks better than Marco Rubio.
That is a very valid point. Marco Rubio announcing that he is going to run for his Senate seat again. And I found it interesting that as soon as he announced he would run again, 3 of the people that had announced they were running decided they weren't running anymore.
He's going to win. He is going to win.
Yeah.
The Cuban community in Miami and the Hispanics throughout the state will ensure that. Just like you have a certain Republican foundation in this state, then you throw in the Hispanic vote and he wins. The question is going to be this: will Marco Rubio decide to patch things up with Donald Trump? Donald Trump can win without Rubio. Rubio needs Trump. He really does. He needs Trump. He needs to be seen with Trump. And if the two of them patch things up,
he may need Trump to get work done in Washington. But he doesn't need Trump to win Florida.
He doesn't need Trump to win Florida, but he needs Trump for his future political career. He definitely needs that because he can't be seen. For example, everybody keeps talking about Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz has burned too many bridges behind him, and Marco has to look at what's happened with Ted Cruz and realize if I burn these bridges behind me, my political future is going to be like Ted Cruz's. Ted Cruz has no political future.
I was
outside of Texas.
I was amazed he ran for president with all the bridges he'd burned already by shutting government down and everything. I was amazed with that. Hey, we got to take a break. We come back, we'll wrap up hour number 2 with Franz Beard. Get you set up for hour number 3, Buddy Sports Page, right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. Has it really been 1 year? Kim Long Vietnamese Restaurant is having a celebration to commemorate the 1-year anniversary since they started on this culinary journey. As part of the celebration, Kim Long will be offering great discounts to their beloved customers as a thank you. For the entire month of June, all meals are 10% off and kids eat free from 3 to 5 p.m. Domestic beers are $1 and import beers are $2. Kim Long is open daily 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday noon to 10 p.m. That's Kim Long Vietnamese Restaurant, 1022 South Pine Avenue in Ocala.
Located in Ocala, Renstar Medical Research has offered a wide range of clinical research trials for 17 years. Renstar conducts clinical trials for conditions such as migraines, memory decline, fibromyalgia, and sun-damaged skin. To learn more, call Renstar at 352-629-5800. Help us create a healthier tomorrow by volunteering today. Please call Renstar at 352-629-5800.
Are you in the process of planning your wedding reception? Or are you planning that birthday party for someone special? Or maybe you're just looking to throw a party for yourself? Are you in charge of this year's company outing and looking for something fresh and fun to do? Well, KT Entertainment is your answer to all those questions. We provide music, trivia, and karaoke for everybody's enjoyment. If you would like to get in touch with KT Entertainment and find out about our competitive prices, call us at 352-512-2611. That's 352-512-2611. Or you can find us on the web at kt4fun.com. That's kt4fun.com. So remember, whether it's a wedding reception, a party, or a company outing, it's KT Entertainment for all your karaoke, trivia, or musical needs.
Attention passengers for Flight 1370. The plane has been delayed at its departure point and will be at least 2 hours late. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Are you serious? It took us over an hour to get here, 2 hours going through security and getting our tickets, and now we have to wait another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, but we're inside this overcrowded airport all day because the plane is stuck in bad weather.
This is the last time we ever do this. When we get back, we're going to Ocala Aviation and getting our pilot's license.
Yeah, we've been talking about that long enough. It's about time we did it. Then we could just fly ourselves and never have to deal with this mess again.
Right. No long lines, no full body groping security, no baggage checks.
Not to mention never losing your luggage. Remind me again why we haven't done that?
Well, we're idiots.
Oh, right.
Attention all passengers for Flight 1370. It looks like the plane is going to be delayed a little bit longer. The airline has lost the pilot's luggage. Isn't it time you got your pilot's license? Call Ocala Aviation today. 352-861-7484. That's 352-861-7484. Hey, you've earned it. Call today.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin will be answering your questions about your gardens on In the Garden with Carol Ann.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-sized.
And then Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive will be answering your automobile questions on auto repair with personal care.
John Shurji is a financial advisor speaking about fixed index annuities.
And then Evelyn Eileen Smith will be on. She's a playwright, a screenwriter, and she's written a book. It's called In Love and War. It's her memoir. All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live.